Well, we're here. Let's get right into it. This path can take you for a ride that brings clarity, bringing a little bit more out of you. Your sis is ready to guide you. Now, let's begin. So I heard before that differences in thoughts lead to differences in action. So, with that being said, let's get right into your mind. You see, if you are a person who gets angry over the littlest things, or a fault finder, a complainer, or just unhappy thinking that everyone around you doesn't respect or appreciate you, you can become sick. You might look on the outside as having it together, looking healthy physically, but in reality, you are very, very ill. And if you do not get some help, you will suffer from the defects of your own character, which can lead to a collapse in your world. I know this sounds a little harsh, but seriously, I truly care and believe that as your sis, I can give you the truth and humbled love all at the same time. There are many ways to find out about your anger. It is blasted all over the internet. But, I would like to use some tools to find out your anger style. Yeah, that's where I'm going with this. So first, let's look up ACE, which stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. Now, this will get you warmed up about where the anger might stem from, but don't get me wrong, ACE is not for anger. It is for stress and trauma linked to chronic health problems, mental storms, and unhealthy patterns, okay? But I use this so that we can see if anger is rooted in what you have previously experienced in childhood that brings the wrath out of you. Now, during college, I had to take this ACE questionnaire, and I would like to share with you some of its questions. But before we do that, let's take our mental break. Okay, so I would like to take this opportunity to stop and say, we know that anger is a natural emotion, but when we do not have self-control and manage this primary and secondary emotion, it can wreak havoc on everything that we try to accomplish. Tell me, do you see anger as a hindrance in your life? Have you said to yourself that you will not let anger control you, but yet it does? Do you feel you have justified anger, especially when you know you're right? However you feel about anger, please put your opinions and thoughts in the comments below. I would appreciate it. They can generate stimulating dialogue. Even if you feel like there is a healthy anger as well, I would love to hear the other side of anger if you feel there is one. Now, let's take our breathing break. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, I would like to say this part of the video contains some triggering words that may be traumatizing to some viewers and may be inappropriate or hard to hear as well. If you would like, you can skip this part and move right along to the next action to take. Okie dokie. Now let's get really serious and answer these questions truthfully. The questions on my school paper that they gave me were, while you were growing up, during your first 18 years of life, number 1, did a parent or other adult in the household often swear at you, insult you, put you down, or humiliate you, or act in a way that made you afraid that you might be physically hurt? If yes, enter 1. Number 2, did a parent or other adult in the household often push, grab, slap, or throw something at you, or ever hit you so hard that you had marks or were injured? If yes, enter 1. Number 3, did an adult or a person at least 5 years older than you ever touch or fondle you, or have you inappropriately touched their body, or try to, or actually have? Okay, I will not say this, so just read it on the screen, okay? Because basically, have someone SA you in any kind of way. We have to think about YouTube here. So, but if yes, enter 1. Number 4, did you often feel that no one in your family loved you or thought you were important or special, or your family didn't look out for each other, feel close to each other, or support each other? If yes, enter 1. Number 5, did you often feel that you didn't have enough to eat, had to wear dirty clothes, and had no one to protect you, or your parents were too drunk or high to take care of you or take you to the doctor if you needed it? If yes, enter 1. Number 6, were your parents ever separated or divorced? If yes, enter 1. Number 7, was your mother or stepmother often pushed, grabbed, slapped, or had something thrown at her, or sometimes or often kicked, bitten, hit with a fist, or hit with something hard, or ever been repeatedly hit over at least a few minutes or threatened with a gun or knife? If yes, enter 1. Number 8, did you live with anyone who was a problem drinker or alcoholic or used street drugs? If yes, enter 1. Number 9, was a household member depressed or mentally ill, or did a household member attempt suicide? If yes, enter 1. Number 10, did a household member go to prison? If yes, enter 1. Now add up your yes answers, and this is your ACE score, whatever that is. Whew. It doesn't seem like a lot when you are just filling out the papers, but reading it to y'all was a doozy. I felt like it was long. Anyway, so go ahead, shake it off and take a break. I'll be here. I ain't going nowhere. Even if you feel like you want to dive deeper into ACE and what comes with it, I will leave a link to Nadine Burke-Harris. She talks about it on TED. It is called How Childhood Trauma Affects Health Across a Lifetime. So after you do all of that and you check out Nadine and you do your ACE, I got some more that I need you to do, okay? So after that, I want you to go right into Google search and type in anger style test and take some quizzes, assessments, or just plain old surveys. So, and then once you take those tests, just reflect on it. Once you take the quizzes or the assessments or the surveys, I'm telling you, just think about it, reflect on it, just really accept it. That's basically where I stand. Just really accept it, okay? But now after you really finish warming up, taking those tests and accepting it, I'm telling you, you're going to just think about things that you probably felt like was just hidden, and you're going to be able to just lift it out, and go forward. Now, how you do that, that is up to you. But I will say, let me just say this though, because my ACE test, when I took it, I really felt bad because my score was high. But I will say this: I don't want you to look at the scores. We are not looking for the scores. Please don't be bothered by them unless you want to go further into that. That's different. But for me, I'm not looking for the score. I'm looking for reflection. But I will say, they say that the ACE score, anything over a 6, needs to not be ignored. But as I said, if you want to go further, then by all means, go right ahead and dig into it. But for right now, I just want you guys to reflect on what came from, who you are, where things stem from. And sometimes that can be rooted and just in our childhood. It's just one way of looking at it. I just wanted to spark something in you to let you know that there are resources and tools to help you now. These tools are not perfect and have some defects, but I am only trying to get you comfortable and introduce you to some things and becoming aware of anger, particularly your anger issues and how to manage them. It's all about recognizing and doing something about it. And the best thing you can do is surrender. But you can't truly surrender something you haven't truly tapped deeply into, right? Okay, enough of that. Okay, that was heavy, wasn't it? I mean, now it's just, when you talk about stuff like that, some people don't want to bring that out of them. They feel like they got over it. And in reality, their actions tell you that they haven't. So now look, reflect on all the work you have just done and really dig into what anger style you naturally go to. I mentioned some in the previous video, like pain-based anger, frustration-based anger, justifiable anger, temper tantrums, overwhelmed anger, moral or judgmental anger, self-abusive anger, fear-based anger, volatile anger, passive anger. You even got aggressive, passive-aggressive, assertive, and projective-aggressive. I really feel like we at least scratched the surface and were able to get some clearness into our anger, right? Really, if you take it seriously. I know as your sis, I am asking you for a lot, but now I have to ask, are you ready to dig into the symbolic actions that can have you now doing something about your anger, since you know a little bit more about yourself when it comes to the madness, you know? Which action will you choose? Which action would you like to dive into first? Would it be symbolic action 1, wrap up my wrath, or symbolic action 2, preventing anger? It's your choice. I'll see you.